Who are those guys? Who are those guys?
I never heard of most of them.
I have no idea who this is.
They're beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys?
Who are these f***ing guys?
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mozette, and here's your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mozette, and welcome, 12s, to episode 404 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, as your Seattle Seahawks welcome new draft picks to the team. So sit back, relax, grab a desired beverage or sit of your choice, and remember, it's feeling mighty drafty in here. Let's meet the posse for this episode, shall we? With the first pick of the 12-Man Fan Jam Posse Draft, we choose, from merry old England, back from his extended vacation, it's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Matt, I am always just wonderful. How are you today?
Well, I'm feeling much better. Thanks for the. I got a day pass on the last episode because I had bronchitis and couldn't talk and was just terrible.
You did.
But I'm really well, thank you. Oh.
Good. No good news, bad news. It's all good news. It's
all good news. I'm back. I'm back on the show. I'm going to America this year to see 2 games, and I've also just come back from a national meet up with the UK Seahawkers. It's all great.
Wonderful. We're going to ask you about that here in a minute. But before we do, we have to continue our draft with the second pick of the 12-Man Fan Jam Posse Draft from the state of Washington. Our very own news hound. His 12-man editorials can be found on SeahawksOut.com website. You know him as Shadowhawk. We know him as Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. Unfortunately, with that draft pick, Sam Bradford is now demanding a trade to another podcast. So.
Hey, he's demanding a trade. There you are. All right. Yeah. Well, they can have Bradford. How you doing, Will? Good?
I'm doing well, Moses. Thank you.
Wonderful. And, of course, last but certainly not least, our final pick of the draft, but he's far from Mr. Irrelevant. Also from the state of Washington, it's Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on? I heard T.O.'s calling Bradford out for getting traded to that other podcast, too. He's disappointed he's not going to compete. So, you guys hear about that? T.O. calling Bradford out today or yesterday?
I did not hear about that, but I did now.
You're jumping ahead of me there, Dustin. That's one of my news stories.
Little foreshadowing going on. All right. Dustin, very on top of it. Very nice. Gentlemen, it is prom season. I hope you got your tuxes. And I had 3 of the worst proms ever in the world, but we won't go into that right now. I hope you all have wonderful prom experiences. Matt, do you have prom over in England?
We do now. We didn't when I was leaving school.
Okay. They have those.
We do now.
They have those proms now. I don't know if you guys have this. We have this over here. Some radio station sponsors proms. Like if you're 30 or 40 years old, then you're supposed to go to they have a prom for older people. Do you guys have that over there anywhere?
No, we have the internet, so we have dating sites.
Yeah, so it's normal where you are.
They've got Tinder now.
Exactly. Where I live is much more pathetic, believe me. But they have proms here. I don't get that. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's what and also, real quick, this is Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers out there. We want to.
Not in the UK, it's not.
Well, you know.
Well, word to your mother.
It's probably like Saint Aloysius Day or something. But for us, it is. And the kids want to say Happy Mother's Day. Kids, yeah, they're here. They want to wish all the mothers out there Happy Mother's Day. And welcome to our show. We'll go ahead and start this. The shows are like a real NFL football game. We have 4 quarters, even a halftime. Quarter 1, Will catch up us on news, and we will have a Caption That Picture to talk about. Then we'll have a 60-second rant by Will. It was supposed to be a live rant based on our draft challenge, but none of us got any picks, so we'll move on. Quarter 2, we'll do a special top 3, and then we'll do rounds 1 through 3 of the Seattle draft from this year. At halftime, it's the best Seahawk-themed play-along game on the internet, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. Can Will get a three-peat? Will, can you get a three-peat?
Probably not, no. But I'll give it a shot.
He's going to try. Will has been dominant, and Matt has yet to win this season.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Quarter 3 will open with yet another wonderful top 3. Hold your excitement. And then draft picks 4 through 7, and we'll touch on the undrafted free agents. We won't touch the undrafted free agents, but we'll talk about them. And then quarter 4, we will adopt the Seahawk like we did last year. We take one drafted, one undrafted player, and we give them a good home. So,
are these shelter hawks, Moses? Because that's really the way to go.
Well, the problem last year was that Matt had Cooper Helfet, and he just followed him a little bit too much. So we had to scale it down a little bit.
Well, nothing says true love quite like a restraining order.
True. The kids dig it. The kids dig it. They dig restraining orders. But before we have more restraining orders, we'd like to remind you, please like, share, subscribe to Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We're on Twitter, Seahawk Positivity. Email, 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. But before we go with the news, Matt wanted to share his NFL draft experience with us, and I didn't get the porn music handy, but I don't think it's that kind of experience. Matt, tell us what your experience on draft weekend was like.
Well, draft weekend for me was a case of flying to Manchester, which is up north in England, and taking part in the largest meetup, I think, of Seahawk fans outside the USA. We had the president of, obviously, the UK Seahawkers. Dino was there. I flew up with him. We had the president of the German Seahawkers. He flew over from Frankfurt to come over and join us. And we had people come down from Scotland. We had people from all across the UK, really, I think, was there, apart from Northern Ireland, I think. But there was about, I think it must have been between 60 or 70 of us that turned up at this pub in Manchester. Just completely took over the whole establishment. We had sort of an auction as well in memory of Ian. So we raised a lot of money for the Royal British Legion, which is a military charity here in the UK, in memory of Ian, which was awesome. I think Gordon, which is one of our members, did a piece of artwork which is unique, and he does it incredible artwork. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but there was one picture that was going around on the internet, which was the Statue of Liberty dressed or wrapped, I think it was, in a 12 shirt.
Yes.
On the Super Bowl. That was one of Gordon's designs, and it was retweeted by Pete Carroll and went out there and went crazy. But he did a unique poster design, a unique canvas for the UK Seahawkers, which went, I think, for about £170, £180, which is about $230, $340.
Wow.
All raised for charity and stuff. We also had, over here in the UK, our football is sort of our commentators, if you like, are obviously American and British. We've got Kevin Cadle, who is a basketball coach regionally, I think. He came over to Scotland. He came along, so one of the anchors from Sky Sports came along as well, and we got to meet him, and he signed some books for us. Basically, we had, as I say, 60 to 70 family members, as we like to call them, all in the same room, and we just had an absolute ball. And for draft day, we were all sitting there watching the draft picks come through and talking about them, in a pub in Manchester. It was amazing. Now,
you did this on Saturday, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you put some perspective on this, we record this show we're all the way, we got people in Washington, we got people in the Midwest and Indiana, and I'm on New York, East Coast time, and then we've got Matt over in England. So if you can give us all perspective, that first pick, about what time your time was that first pick on Saturday?
That was early though on Saturday, because they'd already started, hadn't they?
Right.
It was an early day on the Saturday. The actual draft, the first day of the draft, which was the Thursday night, I think, for us.
Right.
I think that was, it must have been 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm. 1 a.m.
Draft about that, yeah. I think it was about 12 or 1 a.m. It's early in the morning, as always. So some of us stayed up to watch that first trip pick come through, and then we watched the rest of the draft go through the whole 32 or 31, because Patriots didn't get a pick. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ha ha. And so we watched all of that from there.
I was waiting for the kids on that one.
What did the kids?
I was waiting for the kids to clap on the Patriots didn't have a pick.
Hey, kids! The Patriots didn't have a pick.
Yes, it's slacking.
There you go.
Slacking. Yeah, so it's early morning stuff. Always is early morning stuff whenever they do the draft for us. But by the third day, the last part of the draft, I think it's done at a reasonable time for us. We were watching the picks come through because we were really excited about the German dude who was drafted by the Vikings.
Yes.
Because obviously we had the German president there. We were like, if the Seahawks pick him, you are going to do a live tweet, like video tweet, welcoming him to the team from England.
That would be awesome.
Because you're going to be there. But obviously it didn't happen. It went to the Vikings.
You should have said one anyway. Hey, you went to the wrong team, man.
Well, I'll tell you what as well, Moses. I've sent you a picture of the event with as many people that were there right at the very end. Excellent. And we had a picture with Kevin as well there. So yes. I'll send that to you. If you can throw that up on the video, people get an idea of the sort of numbers that went there. But we had people coming from Seattle. There was a couple there from Seattle as well, I think. They'd come over. So we had people that come across, from all around the world.
Wow, that's awesome. That is just amazing. That's wonderful. And, the UK Seahawkers and the German Seahawkers, you guys are just amazing. You come over, you get up at 2 in the morning to watch football or 4 in the morning to talk about football. And then, you stay up at 1 in the morning for a draft pick. It's just, a lot of people like to say that they're diehard, and I would never go into that if you're a diehard or real fan or not argument, because that's ridiculous. But I tell you guys over there with your time change, I don't know if I could stay up, for a game to start at 1 in the morning.
The most annoying thing, Moses, is when someone turns around and says, "Oh, you don't know, because you're British, you know nothing about football. You're a bandwagoner because Seahawks are doing really well, and you can't be a diehard fan because you don't live in Washington, you don't live near Seattle." Yep. And I'm like, do you know what? Just drop dead. I haven't got time for that.
Well, quite frankly, that's why we build this show as fans around the world, because there are Seahawk fans around the world, and quite frankly, if one of you listening thinks that we're not real fans for that reason, you can stop listening. But
I tell you, it has to take more effort where Matt's at. So, cheers to everybody over there.
Amen to that.
And so many of us, just to say, so many of us are coming over this year. I think we have UK Seahawkers at every single game. So
fantastic.
We think we've got people coming over for certainly the Bills game, which I'm coming to on the Monday Night Football. I think we must have, and Dino's coming over, and Stuart's going over, and Paul's coming. There must be at least 6 or 7 Brits coming over just for that Bills game alone. And obviously, I'm also going down to New Orleans as well to see the away game. So we are real football fans, I promise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't be on this show if you weren't. I'll tell you that. Well, thanks, Matt, for the update. That was a wonderful story. Let's go ahead and let's just slide from that news story to the rest of the news stories in this episode's news section. Yes, here to catch up on all the news since we were out erasing embarrassing pictures from our Instagrams. Here's Shadowhawk Will with the news. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, as teased by Dustin a few minutes ago,
that's what I do.
Yes.
You tease.
The former NFL receiver who once spent a whole year doing shirtless sit-ups in the driveway, having his agent answer press conferences with next questions, and going to arbitration to try to force a trade out of Philadelphia, is criticizing Sam Bradford for trying to force a trade out of Philadelphia. Apparently, irony and T.O. just really don't get along very well. But anyway, Terrell Owens went to TMZ because, of course, he would go to TMZ, talking about Sam Bradford's desire to try to get a trade, and said, quote, "I think it was not a great move for Sam to want to request a trade, being that they were getting Carson Wentz. That's kind of a sign of a coward, to be honest. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who they're drafting or who's coming in," Owens would go on to say, basically saying that Bradford should have more confidence in his ability to hold off any challenges for the starting job. And while I have to agree with T.O. that Sam Bradford's really being kind of silly about the whole thing, kind of not the best person to make this argument, I gotta say.
No. Well, you know why he went to TMZ? Because nobody at ESPN will talk to him. I had no choice there. Yeah, that guy, he's special in many ways.
Oh, yeah, there was all this controversy about when will Marshawn Lynch file his retirement papers. Mm-hmm. Terrell Owens still has not filed his retirement papers with the NFL.
Well, he still thinks he can play.
Yeah. The Seahawks preseason proves different, but yeah.
What he said, the only thing he caught that whole season was the plane out of Seattle.
Yeah, well, he did us a huge favor and really helped make sure that Russell Wilson was a starting quarterback, so I have no issues there.
Truth.
True. He catches that long pass in Denver, and maybe Matt Flynn would have gotten the starting job.
Yeah, exactly. But, honestly, I cannot hate on him for this, because if you look back at T.O.'s career and when he was demanding trades and what he wanted to do, it was always an issue with management and coaching and those things. It wasn't the teammates. He wasn't shying away from competition.
That's true.
Bradford in this sense, is shying away from competition. He's like, they're bringing somebody in to try to take my job. So I understand where T.O. is coming from. Like, dude, don't be a bitch about it. Go out there, work your ass off, and earn your job, and you won't have the problem. T.O. was always anti-authority kind of guy, in a Marshawn Lynch kind of way, in a lot of ways. But Marshawn just wouldn't talk to the media. You know, when he was defiant, he'd flip off the sideline or not show up to mini camps. But he'd always give his effort for his teammates, and I feel like T.O.'s kind of the same way. He would always go out there and work his ass off for his teammates, and the Super Bowl with the Eagles is probably case in point for that. He broke his leg, was out for most of the playoffs, showed up in the Super Bowl, and led everybody in receptions, even though they lost. The dude puts it on the line for his teammates. He just hates management. So I can't hate on him, really.
Do me a favor. Don't ever say the following again, and it's recorded. Don't ever say, I can see where T.O.'s coming from.
That'll come back to bite you, Dustin.
I'll come back to get you, man.
It just might.
I
won't request a trade, though.
Oh, good.
You know, there have been a lot of people in the media talking about this whole Sam Bradford thing. I cannot think of a single one that's actually taken his side in this.
No.
And short of retiring, I don't know what he thinks he can do.
I know, because God knows he can't play a full season. So, with that being said, Will, what else you got for us?
Well, Moses, this weekend is the start of rookie minicamp for NFL teams, including Seattle. From what I heard, Kenny Lawler in particular, our 7th-round pick, had a good day today.
Good.
The Bengals had a little issue with one of their tryout players this weekend, though. Antonio State linebacker Antonio Longino was supposed to have a tryout with the Bengals at their rookie minicamp this weekend. Unfortunately, he's in jail.
That's going to hurt your chances.
A little bit.
Just a bit. According to Newsnet 5 in Cleveland, Longino has been arrested for tampering with evidence in a homicide investigation. Apparently, police found a vehicle with 2 bullet holes at his aunt's house, and a search warrant found several bags of evidence that had been taken from the scene. And apparently it was related to the investigation of a nearby murder. So, anyway, he's being held on a $100,000 bond, which is probably more than his free agent contract would be if he signs one.
Yep.
And I got to believe this is not getting his NFL career off on the right foot.
I don't know. If nothing else, it proves he's loyal to the team. So
I don't know. I think the Browns have probably already phoned him up and offered him a contract.
But can he play wide receiver?
He's playing for the Bengals. He's playing for the Bengals. He's perfect. What are you talking about?
Rar.
It was there. He's wearing orange.
Oof.
I mean,
Oof.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good excuse, though, I guess. You know, where's number 57? He's in jail, sir. Okay, well, I guess we'll...
you get
Cross
one phone
him
call.
off, then.
Yeah. Cross him off, then. Cross him off, then.
Yikes.
What's the...
That one phone call from prison, though. You can imagine it, can't you? Like, can I just make a phone call? You want to phone a lawyer? No, I need to phone the coach.
Yeah, I'm not there right now.
I'm going to be a little late.
Woo. That's a pretty good excuse, though. You guys ever have a better excuse than that to miss work or miss something at school? Or no,
well,
I got
this
nothing.
podcast, for one thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I've had to pick somebody up from jail before, and I missed work for that, so that was a decent excuse. But I've never been on the flip side. So.
Did you pick him up in a cop car like Jake Blues? Or...
No, by the way, Dustin, I forgot to give you gas money. I'll get that to you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Yep. I posted bail, picked somebody up and missed work, and the person was a coworker too. So we both called out that day. So.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I've never had that experience. Well, was your last story also about jail time?
No, actually, although it involves an overturned suspension for Texans tackle Dwayne Brown.
Ah, do tell.
Dwayne the Rock Brown.
Well, Brown had originally been suspended for 10 games for a PED violation. This was his second offense after getting a 4-game suspension in 2010. But he actually got it overturned. Turns out, and this has been confirmed, and the Players Union has sent a memo out to players warning them about this, Brown was actually in Mexico recently, and the banned substance he was found to have taken was clenbuterol, which I don't know what it is, but apparently it's a PED. And actually, clenbuterol is actually in meat in Mexico and China.
Yikes.
Some of it's contaminated by that.
I think it's a vasodilator.
I'll take your word for that.
Sorry.
But when Brown was in Mexico, apparently he ate, 10 burgers and 2 steaks while he was there. He kept the receipts, was able to turn them over to the league in the NFLPA. So, in addition to not drinking the water in Mexico, don't eat the meat.
Don't eat the meat, don't drink the water, don't breathe the air. Other than that, have a great time.
Yeah, I think what you guys need to...
No, go ahead.
Carry on. So what you guys need to do is build a wall and keep them Mexican cows out because they're all going to be...
You had to know there was a Donald Trump joke here somewhere.
Oh, there's a few. Clenbuterol. I think I went to school with clenbuterol. I'll check that. I think he sat behind me in science, clenbuterol. I just remember that name being called in science. Hey, clenbuterol, here.
Honestly, I'm not for sure, but like I said, I think it's a vasodilator, which is like albuterol, which is what a lot of kids or people in general use for their inhaler. It opens up their lungs, makes them breathe better. So I think it's probably along those same lines.
Oh, yeah.
I had an albuterol inhaler when I was a kid.
See, I was thinking the exact same thing, Dustin. That was exactly what was coming through my mind about clenbuterol. I was thinking about some kid in science class, but it's all right.
Who had an inhaler?
Yeah, who had an inhaler. Clenbuterol.
But he didn't inhale.
Oh my God! All right. Well, Will, thank you very much, sir.
You're quite welcome.
We usually end the first quarter, but we're not quite going to end the first, because before we end the first, we are going to have this episode's edition of Caption That Picture. Yes, Caption That Picture, where we take a picture, rip it from the internet, and put our own caption with it. The picture you see before you is obviously draft day related. It is a picture of our wonderful general manager, Mr. Schneider, and he is on the phone. So that kind of left a lot open there. We'll start with Will. Will, do you have a caption for this picture?
I do.
Will, caption this picture.
Okay, so we wanted 3 combo supremes with double cheese, extra pepperoni, and oh crap, we're on the clock. Please hold.
Nice.
Well done. Matt, do you have a caption for that picture?
Yes, I do.
Matt, caption that picture.
Okay. I don't care, Matt. I can't draft him just because he looks good in slacks and evening wear.
That might be the best one tonight. Dustin, do you have a caption?
I do indeed.
Dustin, caption that picture.
Hey, it's John. Did you watch? Who do you think Negan killed?
All right. I have to go into character for mine. Here we go. I just got one because the order thing was kind of what I had too. I had the 10 pepperoni, 12 cheese, one. Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry, Moses.
No, that's good. Okay, yours was way funnier than mine. I just said no breadsticks. That was my punchline. Yours was way better. All right, here I go. Capture that picture. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you draft my player, that'll be the end of it.
Nice. Always good to have a little Liam Neeson on the show.
Take it, everybody. That is my. Who's the guy on Taken? I don't even know.
Liam Neeson.
That's my Liam Neeson. Isn't that horrible? Okay.
Maybe after 3 movies, he's just a bad father.
Yeah. The next one, you have to get his kids back from CPS.
If you watch Taken, that's hysterical. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you have no idea what I just did. Okay. Hey, we are just taken with the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Coming up next, we dive into the draft pool of players the Seahawks have decided to pick for our favorite franchise. Right after this 60-second rant by Will coming up right now.
Well,
and now it's time for a 60-second rant.
You know you make me wanna
rant.
I don't want to get off on a rant here.
Ah, yes, draft weekend. We spend months speculating as to what teams are going to do. We spent 3 days wondering what on earth teams are doing. And then we spent the next several months analyzing what teams did that weekend. And none of it really means anything. But it's fun spectacle. From the literally hundreds of thousands of mock drafts to the equal number of completely meaningless draft grades, I cannot think of another event that really has more people talking about something they have known nothing about. Case in point, me. My mock draft was slightly inaccurate, at least for the Seahawks. I did, however, correctly pick 3 of Denver's draft choices, including the one guy I wanted most of all, Connor McGovern. So, next year I will be doing a Denver Broncos mock draft in the hopes of maybe getting some Seahawk players right. But until then, just remember one thing. Nobody knew what was coming. Nobody knows what it means. So just enjoy. Football season's only 4 months away.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Yes! Oh my gosh! 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 Oh my gosh!
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Yes, welcome to the second quarter, episode 404 of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. Hey, let's start this second quarter with the top 3, shall we? Here we go. That's right, right off the bat, hold your excitement. It was the draft. This is a draft episode. We're going to look at the draft picks of the Seahawks. So why not have a top 3 highlights of the 2016 NFL draft? Top 3 highlights of the 2016 NFL draft. If you didn't see the entire draft, you may have missed some of these. So our crack staff found the lesser seen highlights of the 2016 NFL draft. And please hold your applause and giggles until we're done. Here we go. Number 3. Following being drafted by the Dolphins, Laramie Tunsil opened a new Twitter account where it was instantly hacked because his password is password. The guy has problems. He does. No, now stop. Stop laughing. Okay, number 2. Number 2 highlight of the 2016 NFL draft. Jerry Jones tries to convince his war room to draft Johnny Manziel again. So
He would, too.
I wish I could quit you. That's what he said. Okay, and then the number 1 highlight of the 2016 NFL draft. Former first-round pick Jamarcus Russell sat outside the draft with a sign that read, "We'll play football for food, no takers." All right.
Sad but true.
That poor kid. Yeah, he just sat out there with a big old sign, a big old cheeseburger. Nobody wanted him. All right, let's take a look at this first half of the Seahawk picks, the first 5 as we go here. Round 1, offensive lineman Jermaine Ifedi. Sounds like spaghetti or confetti. Will, what are your thoughts on this first-round pick?
Dennis could be a rapper.
Yeah.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
No, take it back.
Word to your mother. Okay.
Well, Betty was a name that was linked to Seattle more than a few times, and it's one that makes a lot of sense. From what I've read, NFL executives were saying he really is a Seahawks kind of lineman, which I hope was meant as a compliment, not as a pejorative. But the guy's huge, and it's good weight. He doesn't have a massive gut or anything. He's just for an offensive lineman, he's actually relatively lean. Long arms. I mean, he's got a 7-foot wingspan. Very athletic, and it fits again what we know that Tom Cable and the Seahawks really look for in offensive linemen. I mean, they see college linemen as unfinished products, and they go for athleticism and size, and under the belief that they can coach them up and correct the fundamentals once they get here. So,
yeah, Dustin, what'd you think about it?
I was fine with it. I mean, honestly, they needed offensive linemen. They took an offensive lineman in the first round. I'm not a guy that watches college football because to me, they don't have a true champion, so it makes it hard for me to watch. It's a popularity contest a little bit. But so the way I do the draft is I see who they draft and I watch the videos and I read the comments and I read the scouting reports and all that. And I think he fits right in. I think he's 6'6", 324 pounds, according to what I've read.
Yep.
And he can play tackle or guard. Seahawks like versatility on the line. So, I mean, I have no problem with it. And as a first rounder, you assume that he's going to be pretty good. And he can go in there and make a difference. So protect Russell. The only concern I have is if he plays guard at 6'6" and Russell's height. I kind of wonder about that a little bit because that might be kind of tricky. But that's it.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see. Matt, your thoughts on the first round pick?
I was surprised we kept when we traded back in the draft. I honestly thought we were going to trade out altogether. I thought I was perfectly ready for it, and I'm like, well, I don't mind staying up late, and we do this all the time, so I'm quite prepared to get to the end of the night and end up with 2 second-round picks or 3 third-round picks, whatever. I think we got some good value. I think we did exactly what Dustin said. As soon as they said offensive guard, I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of college football either myself because I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of college football as well. Right. So I don't know a lot of the players that are in the draft, and I don't watch a lot of the combines and stuff, unless, of course, people are running along with their junk falling out. I watch those bits, but everything else I don't watch.
You watch those parts over and over, yeah.
Well, only because Will sent me the link to the video. That was the only reason. I mean, sure. But it was.
Wait a minute. Did you say Will's sending you videos?
I think somebody sent me the link to that video.
Oh.
It might have been you, actually, Moses.
No, it wasn't me. I haven't sent you videos for a while.
For a while now, that's true.
But Will, that's what Snapchat's for.
but the only thing I would say when he's 21 years old and he is the size of a small mountain. I mean, he is huge, and his arm size. I was like, heaven, he can block like 3 guys in a line at a time.
Yeah, Will was saying he's 7-foot arm wingspan, but pushing out front 36 inches, which is pretty damn long for a blocker. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. But it's not the size of the wingspan that counts. But okay. All right, second round, Dustin.
Yeah.
We trade up and get Jaron Reed or Mr. Reed. What are your thoughts on Mr. Reed? I can say Reed. I would call him Mr. Reed if I met him. From Alabama, kind of a Brandon Mebane. Seems to be the toughest run defender in the draft. What are your thoughts?
Exactly what you said. He's an Alabama product. They have good players there. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
They're not bad.
Yeah. And he's a run stuffer. He's a Brandon Mebane kind of hybrid in my era. I'm not hybrid. Brandon Mebane replacement, in my opinion. Yeah, there you go. He was somebody that was projected in the first round in a lot of people's assessments of him on different websites. And the Seahawks got him in the second round, and he can stop the run. And I'm all for it. He's another guy who's got some size to him. He's 6'6", 307 pounds, and he knows how to use it. He goes out there and he makes plays. So I can't hate on that. I love the pick, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. I think it was a great pick. Will, are you concerned? The one knock seems to be his pass rushing ability. You got a problem with that?
Well, not so much after one of our later draft picks, which I'm sure we'll get to in the third quarter. But I think with Reed, you get a guy who from day one can come in and hold down the line on first and second downs. I mean, the guy is not going to get knocked backwards at all. And we needed a run stuffer, and we got it. I was a little disappointed when the pick came in just because I thought we were trading up for more of a interior pass rushing presence, like a Jonathan Bullard or a Bronson Kafusi. But, in fairness, there are people that think Reed can develop that part of his game. If he does, this becomes an even better pick. But, it's a great player, fills a position of need, and it's going to be fun to watch him step from the run this year.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go ahead and go to the third round, Matt. Third round, first pick, C.J. Precise. It's something, it's funny. I didn't even think about this, but then we got this guy. I'm like, oh, my God, that's a great third down back, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, what I would say, though, is I was very disappointed in the second round that we didn't trade up for a kicker.
And, sir, I have a team for you. Oh, go ahead.
Let me tell you, I know you just asked me that specific question. Go and ask me the other guys, because I don't care. But as far as that particular moment is concerned, it was one of those moments where you sat there and said, "Did that really just happen?"
Yeah, training up for the kicker. Yes, I know.
Did that actually just happen? And I sat there and I actually went on Twitter to go and clarify the fact of something I just watched on NFL.com. It was like, I've got to go and check this out because that clearly.
Can you imagine what the War Room was
not
like?
Not just a kicker, like the best kicker ever out of college for the last 2 years. So...
Okay, but imagine the War Room.
But a kicker.
Oh my God, we got to trade up and get this guy. We got to get this kicker right now. We got to trade up and get this kicker in the second round right now. And after they get him, they're like, "Woo, yeah, steal in the second round."
I feel like if you did that in a Donald Trump voice, we'd all get it.
It was huge.
Well,
we're getting kickers. We're building.
He's got
walls.
a huge leg.
If you're gonna score 98% of your points from your kicker, you might as well get a good one. You know.
Well, I know, but do you have to trade up to get him? Okay.
I know.
Will, your thoughts on Precise?
Great weapon out of the backfield. We like to split our running backs wide sometimes, and I think since he was a receiver, I think he offers some versatility there. I think we'll see him catching passes split wide out.
Yes.
Very dangerous back. Still learning the position. Got to work on his blocking a bit. One thing that I found out after we drafted him that I wasn't a fan of is apparently he holds the ball in his left hand all the time.
Did I know that?
That's a habit he needs to break real quick because we've been there before. But other than that, if he can do that, I think he can. I mean, why not? But this is Fred. Let's like getting Fred Jackson 10 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. And then in the next third round pick, Dustin, they went with I thought that, again, I never think of these things until until our team gets them. And I go, oh my God, that's perfect. A guy that I would describe, for lack of a better, a poor man, Zach Miller, an incredible blocking tight end, and he can catch passes too. But a really great blocking tight end, and Nick Vannett from Ohio State.
Yeah, you say a blocking tight end, but I don't think that's where it stops for him. I think he's a guy that he can block. I heard he's a good route runner. I've read he's a good route runner, and I heard that he's got great hands. So, and I also read that his coach said that he wished they could have incorporated him into the offense more this year.
Yes,
because he has those tools. So it sounds to me like he's a really good all-around.
He is
tight end, and that made me smile because Jimmy Graham. He's not a blocker. Yeah. So, and we don't know what's going on with him as far as his leg goes, injury-wise. Patellar tendon's hard to come back from. Ask Victor Cruz. But
and then Luke Wilson's kind of the same mold as Graham. I mean, Luke's not a bad blocker, but he's more of a pass-catching tight end.
Pass catcher.
Exactly. Yeah. This guy's a better all-around kind of tight end, like a Zach Miller.
Like a Zach Miller.
Exactly. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That might be one of my favorite picks of the draft. Because,
I think it is one of mine, no doubt about it. Hey, Matt, real quick. You notice I didn't say Heath. I said Zach Miller. I would say Heath.
I'm really impressed with you actually, where you navigated that.
Way to hold back.
Thank you. Well, and then Will, final pick of the third round, Reese Odiambo from Boise State.
Well, this was the second pick on day 2 that left me scratching my head a little bit, and again, it wasn't because of the player. I mean, you watch Odiambo play in college. He's got great blocking ability. He can move. He plays like he's he looks great on tape. And I think with a little seasoning, he can be a good offensive lineman if he stays healthy. He missed at least 4 games in each of the last 3 years. And, after dealing with Okung all these years, it's like, okay, now we've got another guy who has the potential to be injury prone. So if he stays healthy, this guy's going to be a starter for us. He has the ability. He has the potential. I think he would have been a high second round pick with a better injury history. But until he can come in and prove he can stay healthy, that's going to be a question mark.
I agree. Those are the first 5 picks of the draft. Overall, I mean, you got to feel pretty good about what they've done to this point, and we'll talk about the third quarter. We'll talk about the rest of our draft, of course. Before we go to halftime, I was given a message from Mike Pascale, friend of the show, Mike Pascale, Game Buzz Comics If you have not seen those on Facebook or anywhere, you need to go find Game Buzz Comics. He has a little character named Buzz. It's a Seahawk, and he goes in all kinds of trouble every week. Even in the off season, he's been doing it every week. So Mike's been on the show a few times, and he sent me this trivia question. So I'm just going to throw this out before we go into our trivia show, and see so anyone can get this from the posse. Here you go, guys. The only other Seahawk player from Milton College other than Dave Craig. There is another Milton College player that played for Seattle. Does anybody even want to get an answer?
Hold on.
Nah, don't be Googling.
No, which Milton College? There's several.
There's several Milton Colleges?
Sure. Yeah, you got to be specific.
I will go out on a limb and say any of them.
Okay, I still don't know.
Will, what do you got? Any idea?
Owen Gill?
Does anybody want to take a position shot? Like what position this guy played?
I don't know. I'll say Ben Obamanu because I don't know where he came from.
Ben Obamanu is from Auburn, I believe.
I take it back then.
Okay, he played in 1978. His name was Dave Crayfeld. Dave Crayfeld, defensive end, defensive tackle. And now you know there were two players on the Seahawks from Milton College. There you go.
Which still no longer exists.
This is we're going to call this Q&A with Mike. Q&A with Mike. Mike Pascale, friend of the show, great guy. Thanks for that message, Mike. We're going to now, you're hooked now. We're going to have Q&A with you before our trivia every episode now. So get that book out of trivia and get ready to quiz the posse. Well, guys,
you're call it Buzz the Posse.
I know. I know.
Well, just wait because it's now halftime.
Hey.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
Yeah, it's halftime. Coming up, more show than Roger Goodell can try to suspend. What about the other Seahawk draft picks? What about the undrafted free agents? Why did my son giggle at the draft every time he heard the name Dick Butkus? But first, another edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia coming up next.
Hello, everybody. This is Statsman Mark. When I'm not watching reruns of The Love Boat, I'm listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Love, exciting and new.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, and welcome to another wonderful edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners and our patients. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Will, Dustin, and Matt. And here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-Man Fan Jam Show trivia champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. All right, gentlemen, you remember the rules. No Googling. You cannot phone a friend, no wagering, but you can talk. You can ask once per once per show about Little Mo and Mosette. They both took this quiz. The topic is draft picks, obviously. It's going to be about our new draft picks. First round, we will go with our champ, Will. Will, 1, 2, or 3?
One, please.
All right. Dustin, 1, 2, or 3? Or 1 or 2 or 3, I guess I should say.
Hey! 1.
Try again.
No.
Dang it. 2.
All right. Matt, 3, or 3?
I'll take 3.
All right. Here we go.
Excellent choice.
All right, Will, here you go. A lot of this was taken from Seahawks.com because when the players were drafted, they asked them a lot of questions about themselves. And so I took a lot of it from this. Don't look now, but that's what I did. Okay. First question is about our first-round pick, Jermaine Ifedi. Full of spaghetti. Throw some confetti. Will, your question is this.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
No.
That's going to get worse over the year.
To your mother! Oh, gosh. I'm the worst rapper ever. Okay.
Yes.
But no, Ice is going, dude, that's horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
Will, your question is this. Who did first-round pick Jermaine Ifedi, full of spaghetti? I'm sorry. Who did Jermaine Ifedi think was the funniest comedian? Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, or Chris Rock? And there's some organ for you! Who do you think was the funniest comedian? Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, or Chris Rock?
I'm going to go with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's pretty young.
He's going with Kevin Hart. He's pretty young. Is it? You don't have to cheer him on, man.
I'm just saying, if Eddie's pretty young, that's what I was on with.
All right, he said Kevin Hart. Lil Mo said Kevin Hart. Mosek said Chris Rock. Oh, I'm sorry. He said Chris Rock. Yeah.
Oh, he's mature for his age. That's good.
Yeah, I guess so. Because he liked Chris, because he already talks like this. All right. Number 2 goes to Dustin. Dustin.
Yes, sir.
Your question is about Jaron Reed or Jaron Reed or Mr. Reed.
It's not about Chris Rock, okay?
Yeah, no. What Seahawk player did second-round pick Jaron Reed say he's most looking forward to meeting? Which Seahawk player is he most looking forward to meet? Michael Bennett, Cam Chancellor, or Richard Sherman? And there's some organ for you!
Well, seeing as how he's a defensive lineman, I have to hope it's Michael Bennett.
He has to hope it's Michael Bennett. So you're going with Michael Bennett. All right.
Final answer.
Final answer. Lock it in. Mosette and Little Mo both said Richard Sherman. They both really like Richard Sherman. You know what? It's Cam Chancellor. Isn't that weird? Who would have thought?
Damn it.
Obviously,
I
not
did,
you.
but I remembered the interview, so I
His head's in the wrong place.
See,
His
somebody's
head's in the wrong place.
Someone has an unfair advantage. All right. That comes down to Matt. Question 3.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Third round pick, CJ Precise. He has a pet named Benji. What is Benji? Is Benji a dog, a turtle, or a snake? What is CJ Precise's pet Benji? A dog, a turtle, or a snake?
No idea.
Yeah, I could have done 2 or 3. Jeez.
Got a pretty good idea.
I'll say a turtle.
A what?
A what?
You say turtle?
You said turtle?
Yeah.
Are you speaking English still?
I thought you said snail.
Yeah.
You said turtle. Okay. Little Mo said dog. Mosette said turtle.
Sounds
you
like
said
kind of a dog, doesn't it? But no, I'll go turtle.
You said turtle. It is a turtle.
He named a turtle after a superhero dog in a movie?
Yeah, right? What's up with that? All right. All right, we moved to round 2. Matt, 4, 5, or 6?
6, please.
All right. Will, 4 or 5?
I'll do 5.
That leaves Dustin with 4. Here you go. Dustin?
Yes, sir.
This is about Reese Odhiambo! And Odhiambo was born in Kenya.
Yeah.
In the 1960s, Kenya received their independence from what country?
What?
Germany, France, or the United Kingdom? Odhiambo! Kenya!
I know Germany likes to rule shit. I'll go Germany.
Whoa!
Wow! They like to rule things. They get
Try to take over the
walls.
world.
They're huge.
They have great beer.
They do. Okay, you said
what?
You said Germany.
What?
Mosette and Lil Mo said France.
Oh, dear me.
France doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They make wine.
Matt, what's the answer?
It's us.
Yeah, United Kingdom. Yeah.
You guys had everything at one point.
Indeed.
The whole
sun
world
never
had
sets.
to fight for independence from.
The sun never sets on the British Empire. Remember that.
Well, it does now, but it didn't then.
No, it doesn't actually.
I was really hoping Matt was going to get that one, but okay.
Yeah, me too.
So they're like
Oh,
Alaska?
man.
That's like the only weird question of this whole group, I think. Okay.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, man. Angry. Okay, Will.
Yes, sir.
Quentin Jefferson. Quentin Jefferson's favorite movie. Is it Friday
Moving
Night?
on up.
Is it Friday Night Lights? Is it Kill Bill? Or is it Scarface? What is Quentin Jefferson's favorite movie? Friday Night Lights, Kill Bill, or Scarface?
It's a stereotype.
What's a stereotype?
Everybody, I'll explain it after the answer.
Oh my God. Friday Night Lights, Kill Bill, or Scarface? His favorite movie.
Once again, I have no idea, so I'm going to go Scarface.
He's going to guess Scarface. Well, the kids said Kill Bill. And the kids were right. It was Kill Bill. Who knew?
I was wrong. Everybody says they love Scarface, and half the people haven't seen it, so.
But that's
what I assumed.
That's not Quentin. Quentin is his own man.
Apparently.
He likes Kill Bill.
Well, I apologize to him.
Yeah. Last question goes to Matt. Matt is leading 1-0 here. And it has to do with 5th-round pick Alex Collins. Are you ready? Alex Collins. He has 2 dogs. He's going to bring his dogs to Seattle. What kind of dogs are they? Are they German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, or Rottweilers? What kind of dogs does Alex Collins have? German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, or Rottweilers?
I have absolutely no idea. So I think I will, for the first time, use the children. What do the kids say?
Don't use the children. You're going to ask what they said.
That's what they're there for.
Don't use the children.
Use the children. And then I'm going to dismiss their answer and go with something completely different.
The 2 dogs.
Something completely different.
The 2 dogs. Mosette said they were German Shepherds, and Little Mo said they were Pit Bulls, which leaves Rottweilers if you're using that logic. But Mosette, German Shepherds, Little Mo, Pit Bulls, Rottweilers was said by neither.
Okay, so it's probably going to be Rottweilers then, isn't it? I'd have thought.
You're going with Rottweilers?
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a clue.
The answer is... German Shepherds.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow. That was awesome, guys. 1 question out of 6. All right.
Woohoo! Well, I've known the answer to every single one except the 2 that I had to answer.
See, Will's smart.
Yeah,
Will read the interviews.
Me too.
See, I thought somebody would at least see those questions, and you had a chance this week. You had a chance. All right.
You thought wrong.
Yeah,
no, I mean, I was studying up on the 1993, 94, and 95 draft. That's what I was studying up on.
I've been working all week. I haven't had time to research anything. So.
Well, excuses. Word of the final question. Final question is a number.
Sorry, I just thought Dustin was going to say I've been in prison because of a homicide, trying to hide a homicide.
No. I have 2 jobs, so I work a lot, so.
Oh, yes. Juvenile and delinquents. That's us.
Good times.
Yes. All right, our final question is, of course, as always, a number. Whoever's closest without going over wins it all, because it's 1-0. Matt over Dustin and Will right now. So maybe somebody will come from behind. Who knows?
Oh, God.
No, not again.
About that before you spit it out.
All right.
Yeah. I know, most of the spitters. Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good luck to you 2 coming from behind. Here we go. The order will go Dustin, Will, and Matt. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
And the final question is this. How many career yards receiving did Kenny Lawler have for Cal? How many career receiving yards did Kenny Lawler have for Cal? And we will start with Dustin. Dustin?
28.96.
28.96. Will?
2301.
2301?
Yes.
All right, Matt?
I have absolutely no idea. So
You're kidding. You don't know this?
Oh, yeah,
No.
me and Will nailed ours, though. We absolutely knew.
obviously, I'm going to give me the numbers that they said again, because I'm going to have to write them.
Okay. 28.96, 2301.
Hey, there's a huge gap in the middle there then. So 2301. So 23. 2302?
2302?
Your organ's getting obnoxious there, Dennis.
Are you? Yeah, I know. Okay, so you're going. Okay, so here's what we got. We got Will with 2301. We got Matt with 2302, and we got Dustin with 2896. Right? All right. The actual number of receiving yards he had at Cal for his career was 1701.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that means three-peat happened, baby. The three-peat happened, Will. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done,
Oh, wow. 3 in a row for Will. 3 out of the first 4 of the 4th season. Another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Of the world!
There it is. We'll be back with the second half of the show after this quick station identification.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Welcome to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Hey, you, yes, you. Comment on this thread. Say hi to us on Twitter at 12-Man Fan Jam Show or at Seahawk Positivity. Join us on Facebook, 12-Man Fan Jam Show page. Come join us. It's huge. Make it all part of your Seahawk fix. Don't make me come over there. I will. And before we start the third quarter, we would like to send a special message. We don't like to sell things on here. We don't like to beg for money or anything like that. But if you could send us money for Matt, who needs a chair. So,
Just broke it.
Yes, Matt just broke his chair. So he's sitting.
I'm trying to get the screw back into the hole.
Oh my God!
I've been there.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
It's an Allen key. Don't be rude. It's an Allen key thingy, so I've got to go find the Allen key, but the whole arm just fell out.
Alan, if you're listening, his arm fell out, so we need you.
I feel like you'd have more success in this campaign if we did like the whole Sarah McLachlan dog music thing.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we
Yes.
need a full PSA for this, I think.
We do. We definitely do. I'll see what we can. Maybe we'll dig something up here while we talked about draft picks. But we do want to go on and talk real quickly about draft picks. I'll start with Will. Round 5, the Seahawks went with Quentin Jefferson. I believe a little bit more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, isn't he, Will?
Yes, and this was a great pick to start off day 3. Going into the day, I've been saying the only thing we really need at this point is a pass rushing defensive tackle, which we got. With his size and everything, he's not going to be an every down tackle, but he doesn't have to be. He just needs to come in and play the Clinton McDonald role or Jordan Hill when he went on his tear at 2014. The guy's just a quick twitch pass rusher. So I think that's going to be huge for us this year.
He's going to be huge. Dustin, Alex Collins, the other 5th round pick. This guy is like a little beast mode, isn't he?
Yeah, this is actually the pick I'm most excited about, man. I love this pick. This guy, I mean, not only does he have the dreads out the back of his helmet like Marshawn, which is not really here or there, but he runs a lot like Marshawn. He's breaking tackles. He hits people. He's not afraid of contact. Dude, this is the one I was completely stoked about.
Yeah.
When he runs, his pad level's a little high. He's more of an upright runner than Marshawn, because Marshawn usually his legs are a little bit farther apart, so he has more of a central base when he runs, and it makes it easier for him to cut. But this guy can learn that, but everything else about him is just fun to watch. His highlight video, if you haven't watched his highlight video, go out there and watch it right now. It is so much fun. That dude breaks tackles, isn't afraid of contact, and he is that is the pick I'm most excited about this round, or this draft. Hands down, no two ways about it.
Wait a
love
minute.
This pick.
Wait. Finish our show, then go find the highlight video. Okay.
Yeah, but watch
first things first.
Yeah. But yeah, watch. I agree with you. The dude's like a little beast mode.
Well, here's the thing. the year that we drafted Russell Wilson, right? I remember watching after rookie camps. There's a video of Russell, and he's talking to the media, and I was like, man, that is the way that guy conducts himself. I was like, man, that's really awesome. I called my wife down. I was like, hey, watch this guy. He's going to be special. And she watched the interview, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go finish laundry. But but I thought it was awesome.
I love everything about that story right there.
Yeah. But I was like, man, that guy has something. He's going to be good. I have not felt that way about a Seahawks draft pick until Collins. This guy, I think, is going to be a special running back for this team. I really, really am hyped about this pick.
More hyped than your wife, apparently.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'll talk to Matt, not necessarily about draft picks, but Matt, just because, your situation with, your chair, and we're really hoping that we can find an answer for you with your chair. And if you're listening, please, won't you give Matt a chair?
Matt's other cheek needs somewhere to
on a
stay.
second-hand chair.
All right. Matt, in 6th round, they drafted a center named Joey Hunt. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I know that we did that. I knew nothing about the player. Absolutely nothing about the player whatsoever. But, we need a center. Bring in a center. I love a center.
Well, in three-year center, Will, he played guard and center, too. So there's that.
And he was also originally recruited as a defensive tackle. So we have our defensive line to offensive line convert.
There you go.
The only difference is he got a 3-year head start. But
right.
This kid is smart, is very athletic, and I think he's going to give Patrick Lewis a real run for his money.
I believe he had the best sack rating of any center in the draft, too.
Wow.
He didn't give up a single sack at his position his entire college career. So
wow, which also led to the release of Nowak. Later they released Nowak. Unfortunately for Joey, his brother Michael did not get drafted. So
oh dear,
yeah, no. So no one drafted Mike Hunt. Round 7.
Oh, it had to happen.
I am such a child. All right, round 7. Kenny Lawler. Now, Matt, if you're not aware of Kenny Lawler, what he's known for as a receiver, apparently the young man has a rather gifted size hand. I don't know if you're familiar with that story.
Matt hands? 10.5 inches.
Matt doesn't like that because it makes everything else look small. So
you can tell that Dustin's been told that a lot.
Oh! Yes! Do it!
Return.
But he's got 2.5-inch hands. I did my research. I did my research.
Hey, Will, pass the popcorn, Will.
I need my size XXXL gloves to do so.
No, Matt wins. I bowed to you, sir. That was good.
But in all seriousness, besides his large hands, he was a main target for the number 1 draft pick. So there's that. And I think this guy, this is a guy I like because I told Little Mo as we were watching the draft, he's like, well, what would you like to see if, I said, I'd like to see like another Chris Matthews, like another tall receiver. He's 6'2". Another tall receiver with a great set of hands that we can go down the 5-yard line and throw a jump ball to. And this guy might fit that mold, Dustin.
I don't know. I kind of think of him more as like a special teams guy, like a guy that might replace the Rocket.
Maybe.
Yeah, and if he has the same mentality and he can go down there and make plays on special teams, that's kind of where I see his role being if he makes the team. So, I mean, he's a late-round draft pick, so it's kind of a gamble for him one way or the other. But, yeah, I
liked it. I like the pick a lot.
Yeah.
And then, Will, Zach Brooks, running back, 7th round.
Well, pure athleticism. I mean, the guy ran, I think it was a 4.3140 at his pro day. Didn't get invited to the combine. This is a pick you make if this is a guy you want, but figure you can't get in as an undrafted free agent because you've already drafted 2 running backs. But probably going to be a long shot to make the team, but he's definitely got the ability, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. And as of Friday night, he is the only draft choice left unsigned.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. The draft grades for this draft as a whole, and we'll talk more about the free agents, I think, probably when we adopt one, because we'll kind of talk about special, because there were a lot of special free agents that were picked up, and pretty good group. But the draft grades that I saw for this draft were pretty positive. Even old Mel gave us a B+, which is shocker. But everyone seemed to give us a pretty high grade on this draft. Dustin, do you think that's our reputation preceding our draft? Do you think they would have given that no matter what we did, or do you think they really liked what we did?
No, I think it's that the Seahawks were more traditional. They had certain needs that they had to draft for, and they went out there and they drafted for those needs, and they drafted players that people liked. So I think they kind of went more mainstream with it, which is kind of bucking the curve, but I don't think it's a bad thing, because after you watch these guys on tape or on YouTube or whatever you want to call it, a lot of them are pretty good, and a lot of them are Seahawks guys, and I think that this is going to be the best draft class we've had since Russell Wilson's draft class, so I'm pretty excited about the entire thing.
Yeah, I am too. Matt, your thoughts on the draft overall?
Exactly that. I think we had needs, we haven't got stuff. I think the thing for me is that a lot of the pundits have been burned so many times when it comes to the Seahawks grades, where they give us an F and whatever in 2012 or whatever it is. And I just think there gets a point where you just can't second guess. Every time John or Pete do something or make a move, there's a reason behind it. Not done. We don't trade up for kickers. We don't do stupid things like that. So I think they've been burned enough times. But as Dustin said, this is a traditional draft for them to be able to grade. We needed stuff, and we went out and got it. So it seems perfect sense for them to give us really high grades on it. I gave us an A.
Yeah, I do too. Will, what grade would you give this draft for the Seahawks?
Well, I was heartened to see that Pete Prisco gave us a C, because if Prisco doesn't like our draft, that means we must have done very well.
Yeah.
I would give. I actually liked some of the undrafted free agents as much as some of our draft picks. I think when you factor those into the equation, I think I would give this a solid A minus grade. I think we got a lot of good guys, and we did kind of buck the trend a little bit. I mean, everyone was saying this was a defensive draft. A lot of teams took a lot of defensive players. 8 out of our 10 draft picks were on offense. But since it was such a heavy draft defensively, we were able to get a lot of talent on the defensive end as free agents. So I think Pete and John played this one exactly perfect.
I do too.
Yeah. To Will's point on that, John Schneider said that everybody they signed and undrafted free agents, they were all graded on their board. So they were all guys that they felt like they could have drafted at some point, but they didn't, and they were able to get them on after the draft. So that's really, really awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And I think, people forget, like I think Will said this on, round 7. Sometimes, because I say, why? The only critique I've seen is why did they draft 3 running backs? And I can see that point, but I think, and Will kind of mentioned this, I remember during the draft. Remember, you're drafting a guy. If you don't draft him, then you have to sign him as an undrafted free agent. So there might have been a chance somebody was going to draft Zach Brooks. We wanted Zach Brooks. That's why we got a 3rd running back. Maybe that's why its 7th round pick was that. But I agree. I think it was a really good draft. Now, the War Room was a busy place for 4 days. And as much as you watched it, I know you didn't see it all. So I'm here to help you with that with yet another wonderfully hysterical top 3. Hold your applause. Okay. The top 3 to end the 3rd quarter is this. The top 3 highlights from the Seattle Seahawk War Room. Because you just, you didn't see it all, believe me. And some of it you didn't want to see. Top 3 highlights. Number 3, Carroll and Schneider almost come to swings over Star Wars versus Star Trek debate. Very, very, very heated argument with those two.
Star Wars wins. Star Wars wins.
Well, that you can ask Schneider that later. Number 2 is kind of an audio clue, but I'll go ahead and give it to you. Pete Carroll hit Marsha Brady in the nose with an errant football pass, and Schneider reminded him, Mom always says don't play ball in the house. Now, if you haven't watched the Brady Bunch ever, if you've watched the Brady Bunch, that's way funnier than it is if you haven't. But I actually have the audio of the War Room when that actually happened. Here's the actual War Room. That's Carol right there.
Hey, you guys. Oh, wait, no. Marcia, you okay? We're really sorry. She always says don't play ball in the house.
So there it is. Mom always says don't play ball in the house.
Mom doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, she had 3 kids. Yeah, she's a mess. In college, it's a true story. I actually dated Florence Henderson's great niece, but we won't go into that. And the number one highlight from the Seattle Seahawks War Room, owner Paul Allen busted out his guitar and played a 20-minute solo to Purple Rain that brought Tom Cables to absolute tears. So...
I'd like to believe that's true.
Yeah, I think that was true, because Alan can play some guitar. All right. So everyone get off your excitement now. We're going to take a break. It's the end of the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
And we're going to come back with the second annual 12-Man Fan Jam show, Adopt a Seahawk, right after this.
Hey, this is Matt, all the way from merry old England, and you're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Yes, it's time for the fourth and final quarter of this episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam show, episode 404. And now it's time for us to adopt a Seahawk. Yes, the posse and I will take one of the newest potential Seahawks and adopt them. Give them a home, give them some props, maybe a tweet or two of encouragement, something like that. Nothing creepy, but just kind of adopt them, give them a welcome to the Seahawks organization. So, just to remind you, last year we did this, and we adopted Seahawks last year. We're going to start with the drafted players. Last year, Matt picked Ryan Murphy from Oregon State round 7. Matt didn't go too well. Didn't go too well with Ryan Murphy. Mark picked Christian Sololi, and he's on the team, so he's got that. I picked Obum Gwacham because I just like the name. Obum Gwacham. But Obum's not with us anymore, so those didn't go well. However,
and I'm back.
Will took Frank Clark, and Frank the Tank was pretty solid this last season. And Dustin, of course, took Tyler Lockett. And, Tyler didn't do so bad either. So, that being said, we're going to let Dustin pick his first drafted player. Dustin, who would you like to adopt from the draft picks?
Oh, I alluded to it earlier. I want Collins. I think Collins is the beast mode.
Don't get creepy on us now.
It's too late.
Dustin wants Collins. All right. Good deal. He is now your adopted son, so congratulations. Go get a jersey and... No.
So is this like the blind side where I adopt the kid and then I get like a percentage of the contract when he signs?
That's exactly it. Exactly it. And then they'll call you in.
Good. But you have to look like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, be looking for that in the mail. Will, who are you going to pick? You're second.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the player who played the position I wanted all draft long, and that would be Quentin Jefferson, pass rushing defensive tackle. Good guy. Should fight for playing time right away, and I think will give us some good push up the middle on passing downs.
Very nice, very nice. Matthew, who would you like to adopt?
Nick Vanett.
Now, why would you want to pick him?
Well, I think his last name should be pronounced Vanay. I don't want to tell him that, but it really should be. That absolutely should be Vanay. But also because I miss Zach. I miss a blocking tight end. I think he's going to be a really great fit to that whole unit. And I'm really excited now. I mean, I was excited last year as well, obviously with the Jimmy Graham pick and all that sort of stuff. I was really excited about the fact that we were going to have a tight end sort of dominance. It didn't really happen. Didn't really play off. I think we could this time. I think we could use them more. So I'm going to go for Nick Vanay. He's also got an enormous neck. His neck, I don't know. His neck just seems oversized to me. So that's another reason I'm going to go for him because I like to go with unusual players.
All right, good enough.
All right, so to summarize, Matt's a big fan of tight ends. Got it.
Yes.
I am.
He's on
neck.
But But you have to now pronounce the name Vinay. That's very important. Now I've just changed his name for him.
Nick Vinay.
Right.
This is my adopted son, so I
It
can
worked
do
for
that.
Colbert, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with CJ Precise. I think he's going to come out and be just a wonderful third down back and clutch in third down situations for this team. I'm hoping.
Precisely.
Yes, so I'm going with Precise. As we move on to the undrafted free agents last year, as you see, last year, Dustin picked Trayvon Reed from Auburn, and I don't even remember if he even made the team.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, almost as well as my Austin Hill pick, which didn't turn out very well. Mark had Rod Smith, and, Rod did play on the team and had some carries, so kudos to Mark there. Mark did pretty well. And Matt had Nate Boyer, which was, of course, that was the guy that had served 3 tours of duty, or, a wonderful American, a great soldier, great story. So we're hoping he'll get on somewhere someday. But if not, it was a great story, him being in camp for the time he was. But the real winner in the undrafted free agent class was Will, who picked Thomas Rawls.
Oh,
yeah,
good
and
pick.
Nailed
Will,
that sumbitch.
Yeah, you nailed that thing to the wall. And we were making fun of Thomas Rawls, if you remember the show. I had Lou Rawls music playing and all that, and we were having a great time with his name. But I think, Will kind of nailed that one. So, Will, what undrafted free agent are you looking at in this group?
I'm going to go with a bit of a conversion. Brandon Bryant out of FAU played defensive tackle in school, dominated his pro day. The Seahawks are trying him out at fullback, so he could be our next more athletic version.
A Tukuafu, if you would.
Yeah, he's a fullback defensive tackle, 6'2", 289, and I'm kind of hoping that he's related to Red Bryant. I haven't heard, but I'm kind of hoping.
I don't
Nice
think
pick.
so.
Yeah,
But
nice pick, Will.
Yeah. If the guy can make the transition, I think he's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, next would be, let's see. We all kind of stunk after that. We'll go with Matt. Matt, who would you like to pick undrafted free agent?
What's the Ducks bloke? The bloke from the Ducks. Is it Christian French?
Christian French, yeah.
Christian French. 2 reasons. Firstly, he's got the name Christian and hasn't spelled it Christine, which I think is perfectly fine. I also like the fact that his last name is French, because that obviously links in with the fact that Dennis can't pronounce anything in French. So that also works. So for those 2 very important reasons, he's a linebacker, isn't he, if memory serves?
Yes.
I know so little.
Yep.
I know so little about
Outside
this
linebacker.
bloke. So little about this bloke. But for those 2 reasons alone, A, he's got a proper name, Christian, not Christine, and he's got the last name French. There we go. That's my pick.
Right.
That's my baby.
Well done. All right. Let's see, Dustin?
Some people, some of our listeners out there may think that I don't take this seriously. And I want people to know that I do take this very seriously.
What? Lots of research on this. Months of research came down to this. Dustin, after all your research, who are you picking to adopt?
Man, I got 2 of them that I'd like to. Statsman Mark, what's this? Did Statsman Mark make a pick?
No, he did not.
All right, I'm gonna surrogate for Statsman Mark right here.
All right.
Statsman Mark gets Tanner McAvoy out of Wisconsin. He's a 6'6", 230-pound wide receiver. And that is
also
the size.
safety and quarterback and linebacker. You name it, the guy has played it.
Awesome.
That's the size and talent that we need. And
that's
so that's who Statman Mark gets, right?
Okay.
So myself, I like the tackle out of Arizona, Lene Maivia. He's 6'4", 314. And the only reason I like him, is because I'm hoping that he's related to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So his first wrestling name was Rocky Maivia, and his grandfather was Chief Maivia. So that's what I'm hoping. So
I'm glad you're not drafting our players. God, is he related to Rock Johnson? I don't care. Call his name.
Yep.
Get him out.
Pick him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark has a better shot than me. So.
Also, a great ABBA song. If Mac Gilbert, Chesterhawk in Mississippi is listening, he would freak out because Maya Villa. Here I go again. Okay. I'm going to pick. There are a lot of great picks left, even though Dustin really took 2 away from me. But I'm going to pick.
Mark took 1.
In absentia.
I'm going to take a guy. I'm going to take a defensive end outside linebacker named David Perkins. And the reason I'm doing this is because of all my crack research and hours of sweating over this. The guy goes to Illinois State, and that's a Missouri Valley Conference, and I'm an Indiana State graduate, so I got to go Mo-Val, and I'm going to go with the guy from Illinois State. Plus, with the defensive end, outside linebacker, it tells me he's a little bit of a tweener, a little bit of maybe that Leo position that we're looking for. So I'm going to go with David Perkins and see if we can get an Illinois State Redbird to actually be on the Seahawks, which would be pretty cool.
Sorry, Dennis. I meant to tell you, Mike Pascale's already picked him. No! So you're going to pick someone else.
Boo.
I'm sorry.
Curse you, Pascale! God. All right.
You can always pick. You can pick Trey Madden because you like video game. That's fine.
Well, see, I thought about that. Trey Madden's an awesome name.
Yeah.
I thought Dustin was going to go with Trey Madden because he had the Madden segment last year.
He did have a Madden segment. Yeah.
And he might be related to Madden.
No.
Maybe we should read it to John.
We should probably do that segment again, though.
It'd be amazing.
Let's do the whole thing. Hey, let's do the whole show over. Why not?
You want to?
Let's do the whole damn thing. No.
Yeah, it's only 4 in the morning and I've got a broken chair. Let's do it.
Well, we
All right,
can't do
I'll
it.
go find some more news articles.
Yeah, we can't do that until we bring this one to a close. So let's go ahead and bring another wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to a sad close. We're so glad you decided to waste some time with us again. We hope you laughed a little and maybe you learned a little something along the way. What did we learn this evening? Oh, my goodness, the things that we learned. We learned that Will is sending videos. I don't know. We learned that
No.
Matt likes them.
That Matt uses children. And
like the Catholic Church. Wait,
yeah,
what?
Dustin wants Collins. Dustin wants Collins. He wants them. And I like to reminisce about my science class. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our newshound, Shadowhawk Will, Dustin as the Beaver, Roger Goodell, Mosette, Stas Van Martin, Mike Pascale, Sheila McRae, Art Carney. Good night, everybody. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Let's just do the whole thing over. Let's do it, man. Let's just do the whole thing over.
Yeah, take two. All
right.
Okay, but this time with feeling.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Oh my God.